Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome to my channel, and I believe you can all hear and see me. So if you are here, please let me know by leaving a comment in the comment section below, and let me monitor how we are doing before we continue with today's discussion. Okay. So we are live. We are live. And today we are going to be talking about being a wedding photographer. Okay. So guys, welcome. Good evening. My name is Paul, and I'm a professional wedding photographer at PDY Weddings. I do graphic design, and I'm an environmental and safety engineer by profession. So today I'm going to be talking to you about being a wedding photographer. And like I said, if you can hear me, please leave a comment. Let me know that you are here. If my audio is okay, if everything is okay, let me know. Today is our first time live streaming, so we may face some challenges, but please let me know, and then we'll see how best we can deal with it, and then take it from there. So, like I said, I'm a professional wedding photographer. My name is Paul Disse, like as most of you know. So I can see some of you can't see your face. Okay, I'm here. I believe you can see my face now. Okay, all right. So you guys are saying everything is okay. So let's move straight. You're not going to spend much time, maybe at most 1 hour. You'll take some questions from you guys. So please be listing your questions down. Wait for the question time so that you type. Then we will discuss it all together. I'll answer them as best as possible. So let's move on. So let's talk about photography. Now, I believe most of you here are already photographers. Some of you are not, but you're looking forward to becoming a photographer, or some of you are just here to get some inspiration to run your own businesses. So let's talk about photography. What is photography in general? So photography is just making sure that we are capturing the images, we are capturing memories. So I'm talking as a wedding photographer. Wedding photography is basically about capturing memories. Okay. Me too, I joined some. Okay. If I want to be looking at the comment section right now, I may be distracted too much. So I would try to take my eyes off the comment section for now. But it is kind of weird hosting a live session, talking to everyone else, but it seems like I'm just talking to myself or something like that. But thanks everyone for joining us. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you subscribe, and then as we go on, if you like the content, please don't forget to like. It will help me a lot to know it. It will help me to know that I'm doing a good job. And so if you have any criticism, please leave it in the comment section below, and I'll be glad to hear from you guys. All right, so the introduction part. So let's talk about how I started photography. Now, I started photography way back in university. I attended University of Mines and Technology, and that was in 2015. So 2015, I had the opportunity to serve as the editor for one of the great halls in the school, which is Chamber of Mines Hall. And at that point, so I was a graphic designer before then. So it was like I had to do most of the stuff for the hall, like graphic designing and all those stuff. And I gathered some money to buy some small Samsung camera, those point and shoot cameras. So I got one, and then I started taking passport pictures for the hall for identification purposes, all the stuff. So I was doing it. Then one day, this guy, his name is Jesse, he came around with a camera which is Nikon D3000. Let me be reading the comments so that I know I'm on course here. Okay, so he came with a D3000, and Charlie, I was very much in love with the camera at that time. So I took it out. But before then, I was taking some pictures with my point and shoot Samsung camera. So I was taking some flowers and all those stuff. But when I held that D3000 at that time with just a kit lens 18 to 55 on it, I was amazed at the quality of pictures I was able to take. And it wasn't like this time where we have all the powerful iPhones that we can take nice pictures. I wasn't using even an iPhone by then. I was using one of those China phones by then. So when we talk about photo quality there, my phone was not able to take nice pictures. So when I see a quality like that coming from a camera D3000, I was very amazed. And from then, I wanted to do more photography. So we went to a trip. We went on a trip to this place at Izma area, the Karela Beach. So I was holding the camera and I was taking pictures of people, and people were liking the shots. Like at that point in time, I almost know nothing about photography, even though I've watched some few YouTube videos, I've learned some few things, but uh, so at that time, I was learning some few things from YouTube, but trust me, I know almost nothing about photography at there. But when we got there, I was taking some pictures, and people were very happy about the pictures, and I was like, wow. At that time, I was also happy with the pictures myself. But if I go back and I look at those pictures, I smile and then say, okay, we are developing, and it all takes time. So basically, the purpose of this live stream is actually to let everyone that's trying to enter into this wedding photography business know that this business is not just something that you start today and then you start gaining money tomorrow or something like that. If you see somebody making money out of it, it's a gradual process. So that's how I started photography. I threw that camera that a friend brought to campus. I loved it, and then I wanted to own one. So I discussed with my senior brother, and then he also discussed with my father. And luckily for me, my father gave me a loan of 5,000 Ghana cedis to get a camera and a printer. So I was very lucky enough to get that loan from my father. And I was even surprised that my father, of all people, gave me money to buy a camera, whilst he was very keen on education. And uh, I went to Accra. We bought a camera with my brother. So I got a Nikon D3200. As of that time, I was going to buy D3000 because that was what I have used before, and it was very nice to me. So I was going to get one D3000, but unfortunately, we didn't get some. So we got a D3200. I didn't even know that it was an upgraded version of a D3000. So we got it, and I started using that one, taking some few pictures. So fast forward, like I said, before photography, I was doing graphic design. So fast forward, I contacted some few people as of that time, those who were leading in photography in Takwa. So I was in Takwa, University of Mines and Technologies in Takwa, and I was in Takwa at that time. So I contacted my boss, Charlie Events, and else weddings. So I contacted them, and then they granted me the opportunity to go on. How do I put it? To join them on a wedding. So I went on a wedding with Charlie Events once. The first time, trust me, he gave me a flash to put on the camera, and I turned it upside down. That was my very first time of holding a flash. All I knew was the on-camera flash, even though I've watched several videos that say we shouldn't use the on-camera flash. And still, no matter the situation, we shouldn't use the on-camera flash. We should always try to use natural light or use an external flash or something like that. But as of that time, that was the only thing I was using, the on-camera flash. And so when my boss, Charlie Event, gave me the flash at that time, in the midst of people, I was trying to put it on my camera, and then I had no idea where to even place it. But he directed me, and here we are today. I joined them, and then they gave me some jobs to do for them. I followed them, they trained me, I gained some experience from them. And so that's how I developed my camera. So that's how I developed my photography techniques from the beginning. Then from there, I went on to buy this course from Stoppers about wedding photography. That was a very powerful course. After watching it, I realized that I've learned a lot, and there are a lot of things that most photographers are not doing well. So I started practicing what I learned from there and started adding it to my business. I got my first gig from a classmate at school. He recommended me to the sister, and they booked me for their first wedding. As of that time, I was holding the Nikon D3200, a kit lens, and I did a job for Elle's wedding where he paid me with a lens. It seems it was 55 to 200 or so, that lens. So that was the only zoom lens, proper zoom lens I was holding at that time. And trust me, at that time, that lens was like, it's like 85 mm 1.4 for me right now. As of that time, I was very, 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 very happy with them. So if you are here, please say hi and let's continue. As we are going, if you have any questions you want to ask, I'll be reading the comments and then I'll be answering them. So as you can already tell, this is very new. I'm very new at this live broadcasting. So please pardon me. Let's continue. Okay. So that's how I got into weddings. I contacted Charlie Events and then Elle's wedding. So I always advise people that if you're starting a photography career, especially in weddings, please try and get into contact with a photographer in your area. Move along with them, learn from them, humble yourself and learn from them. Um, most of the young guys out there, they are only interested in the money. Once they bought one camera or something like that, they think they should be making money out of it, or they think they can be independent. But it is important that you stay under somebody, second shoot for them, and then learn a lot from them before you separate from them. All right, let me take a sip. It's not an easy task. Pardon me. Okay, so somebody is asking, how many years have I been in business? So I started photography professionally from 2016. I got my first camera on the 13th of January 2016, and I started wedding photography around April that way. And it seems I shot my very own wedding, first wedding around May thereabout. So that's it. So I've been in business for a little above 4 years, and as you can see from this is my page. If you can see this, this is my page. So if you haven't followed me or on Instagram yet, I would love you to go and follow me on Instagram. You can check out some of my works. So these are some of my works, and this is one of my very proud moments when I was featured. The team and I was featured as the fast rising professional wedding photographers in Ghana. I know that doesn't seem a lot to some people, but it's a lot to me. Looking at my background and what I've achieved, I'm happy with that. So you can go through my pictures, show some love, and then please remember to follow me, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so let's continue. So how did I learn photography? I've already explained that in some way. Why didn't you say you were doing that? How many years in business? Okay, so I think I've answered that. Are you ready to do some mentoring, please? Oh yes, I mentor a lot of people, but the only problem is I only mentor people that I think are serious with the photography thing. It's not like everybody thinks there is money in photography or something like that, so they want to join, and then they'll just come and waste your time or something like that. But if you are serious and you want to improve upon your photography, I know that you are doing a great job. Those of you who know me, I always answer your questions as best as I can. So if you need a mentorship, maybe I'll not get the time to direct you 100%, but if you have any question and you leave it in my DM, you WhatsApp me or something like that, or maybe you leave it under one of my videos, or you can send it to me by email. Anyway, I will try as much as possible to answer it the best way I can. So that's it. Theo, are you using StreamYard? Yes, I'm using StreamYard, and StreamYard is a very, very simple and then nice broadcasting platform for live streaming. So if you are new here on this channel and you want to enter into live streaming, please check out StreamYard. StreamYard is very powerful. Okay, all right. Hey, my boss is here. You are doing amazing. Keep up the good work. Proud Tardy product. Boss, thank you very much. So those of you who doesn't know who I'm referring to as the boss, that's Blaze Pictures. Let me show you his page. Um, let me show you his page. So Blaze Pictures. So if you want to enter into wedding videography and all that stuff, the best place to be is visit his page and you get some inspiration from there. He's very, very, very good at what he does. So you can see one of the big guys in the industry. Boss, thank you for joining us. And I'm glad you are here with us. Okay, so let's continue. Now, why I decided to go full-time as a wedding photographer. So full-time as a wedding photographer, how do you deal with stress at a wedding? Yeah, great one. Really love what you're doing. Thank you all for the nice comments. Thank you very much. But let me try to focus a little and then let's continue with this. The purpose of this video for a while, then I'll read the comments and then I'll answer them as best as possible. Okay, so why did I decide to take wedding photography as my full-time career or something like that? So those of you know me, you know that I'm a wedding photographer, that I do this as a full-time job. Even though I shoot some portraits, some birthday shots and all this stuff, but weddings are my major priority and I'll choose wedding over anything at any point in time. So if you're booking me for any kind of job, unless maybe the money is too big, maybe times 5 the wedding or something like that, that one day I'll take it. But aside that, I'll choose wedding over any other type of photography because it's just something I enjoy. So the reason why I choose to go into wedding photography is because I enjoy it. Now, the funny thing is, before I went on that wedding trip to shoot with Charlie event and else wedding, I've never been to any wedding. So I'm the kind of person that I'm very introvert. Those who know me knows that I'm a quiet person most of the time. And I've never ever been to a wedding before I got a camera. So maybe those childhood days where you have to go to church and all this stuff. But since I know what is wedding, I've never been to a wedding before I entered into a wedding photography. But the very moment I entered the church and like they started shouting "Dondo" and all this stuff, I knew that no, this is the place I want to be. You can see people smiling, people laughing, and all those stuff. That is what I want. You see, my life is kind of boring a little because I don't know what is fun actually. But when I see people laughing, it makes me happy a lot. So I said, no, no, no. If I'm going to do photography, then it has to be wedding. Because one, my father has given me that 5,000 cedis to invest into photography, which I used to buy a camera and a printer. So I am expecting no money from him till I complete school. And trust me, since then, the 5,000 he invested has been one of the best things he has done for me. And I'm very, very, very glad my senior brother talked him into giving me that money. I'm very, very happy for that. And by God's grace, through my father's prayers and all those friends and colleagues helping me out, I've been able to utilize that 5,000 to reach where I am today. That I'm also able to come online and then discuss with you my experience. And I'm very honored that big men like you are here joining us. I'm very happy and I'm proud to have you here. I'm very happy, very, very happy. You don't know how happy I am right now. I'm just happy to see you guys join me here. Okay, so I chose wedding photography as a full-time career because um, I like to witness happy people. So wedding is all about happiness, and so when I go to weddings, I am always happy. I can be sick, very, very sick, but when it comes to wedding, I'll stand up and go and shoot. When I come back, I will lie down flat like somebody who is about to die. But as soon as I hear wedding, I don't want to miss that up. And I've shot more than 150 weddings, and there's no single wedding that I've felt sick and then didn't want to go. I always want to be at a wedding. At any point in time, I want to be at a wedding. Okay. So I love weddings. That's why I chose wedding. And then two, the money is very good. Yes, let's face the facts. Let me drink water before I continue with that. Wedding money is very, very good. So I stick with wedding because the money is very, very good as well. Even though I am enjoying what I'm doing, you see people smiling and like your heart melts. You feel like, oh no, this is such an amazing experience. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but shooting a wedding is such an amazing experience. So if you're a photographer out there and you're doing any type of photography, I'll encourage you to just choose to shoot one or two weddings and experience that feeling. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you like it, you will like it. Really, really like it. So try it out. And the money is very good. So at the beginning, I quite remember my very first wedding. I charged around 700 cedis to shoot it. And even at that time, it's quite a lot of money for somebody using a D3200 in Ghana, charging 700 cedis to shoot a wedding, a first wedding. I have nothing to show as a wedding photographer. And I charged 700 cedis for that. And I said, wow. So somebody is willing to pay me 700 cedis to come and shoot a wedding just in a day. And at that time, I bought a camera for around 2,200 cedis. And I didn't know that I needed a lot of things to make the camera very useful. So I thought if I can invest 2,200 cedis into a camera and then charge 700 cedis per job, then wow, this is very, very, very good. But not knowing when it comes to wedding photography, those who are into it, they know that there are a lot of things that you need to purchase than just the camera and then just some few lenses. So the money is very good. Yes, Nyaman Ganani, thanks for joining us. I know you love wedding too. Wedding is something that every photographer should experience shooting a wedding. If you don't like it, then maybe a couple give you a tough time or something. But aside that, you shoot like a wedding. Yeah. Okay. So another reason why I stick with wedding is there is a ready market. As long as human beings are reproducing, we are growing, we are falling in love, there will always be wedding. And no matter how small the wedding is, everybody wants to keep a memory. So meaning that at any point in time, people will need photographers to capture their program. People say mobile phones are evolving, and then at a point in time, photographers will be losing their job. But this is a topic for another discussion. But let me just brief you. The thing is, if you go out there and you buy the most expensive phone, maybe 11 Pro Max or something, and you have no idea how to use it, you definitely call me, a wedding photographer, to come and shoot it for you. You get it? That means that as long as there is weddings, there is going to be the need for photography. Because even if you know how to use the camera yourself, you won't be able to stand there and capture your own wedding. That means you have to hire somebody, and that somebody can be me. So there's a ready market for everyone, and that is why I stick with wedding. Unlike portraits, people can decide to either take birthday shoots or not. Nobody will do them anything. You can always take pre-birthday shoots the next year or something like that. But your wedding is a one-time event, and so people want it done and done well. They want to keep memories for the future. All right. So thank you, guys. I can see Flinda Johnson's. Who is that? Teo, you are one, you are laughing at me, you are one 700 cedis as of that time. It was a lot of money for a student to earn that amount of money in a day. It's a lot of money. Ganani, I am LOL. Ganani, I see you. Okay. Yeah, my boss, my big boss. These are the bosses of photography. Art Focus, you can check him out. They were there before we even thought of buying those small cameras and all the stuff. And they have been guiding us small. And thank you, boss, for joining us for this live broadcast. I'm hoping that one day soon I'll be able to get you onto this live broadcast so that you can also discuss with us your experiences, share with us your knowledge so that everybody can learn something new from you guys. So Blaze, thank you for joining us. Everyone, I'm grateful. There are some people I don't know, but maybe I know you, but I don't know that that's your name. Thank you for joining us. And you can keep your questions coming and I'll answer them as we go on. So let's continue. Now, my gear for weddings. We are discussing being a wedding photographer. So being a photographer, you need some specific gears. So my gear for weddings, I use a Nikon Z6 as my main camera, and that camera has very sweet, and I love it. Ankasa. And I have a Nikon D750 as a backup camera, which I haven't used in almost a year now since I got the Nikon. This is because it hasn't failed me before, and so there was no need for me to switch to a second camera or something like that. But as always, I are always advised to move along with two cameras, one as a backup and one as a main camera. Hey, my boss is showering praise onto me. Hey. Thank you, boss. I hope you meet soon. And I'm very glad we have cross paths. You are one of the big people I respect. When I started photography in 2016, I was looking at your works. I was looking at people's work like Click Coffee and all those stuff. They are very good at what they do, and they have inspired me a lot. And so one thing you should also know is if you want to grow well as a wedding photographer, you need to follow those who are already doing well. Learn from them. It is not a bad thing to learn from your boss, something like that. Or, they are there. They know what is going on. They know what to do and what not to do. So you need to learn from them. Most of these people, I haven't spoken to them before. I haven't met them before because they are in Accra. I'm in Takrady, and I haven't met them anywhere before, but I've learned a lot from them. So thank you, bosses, and I'm glad you have joined us today. Ganani, white t-shirt. Okay, so LOL. Okay, so what is your go-to lens for wedding photography? So somebody is asking, what is my go-to lens for wedding photography? Yes, I've made a video on that before, but I'll explain it again. The 85mm 1.8 is my favorite lens ever. My favorite lens ever. And now let me tell you why I got that lens. So my boss, El's wedding, during his pre-wedding session, I had a Samyang 84 1.4, which I bought online, but because it is a manual focus, I haven't been able to use it for a very long time. But during that session, I just decided to take it out and then try it out. So I took it out, I took some few shots, and trust me, The pictures were very nice. I don't know whether I can show them to you right now, but let me see. Let me just try. Let me just try and see if I can get those. They are far down, but those pictures are one of the best pictures I've taken so far. I love them. So since then, I said, wow, if a manual lens could take pictures this beautiful at 85 mm, then I need to get an 85 mm, which is an autofocus. So I started saving towards it, and then I got one, which as of now, I may say it's not that expensive, but then it was a lot of money for me, but I managed to save, and then I got one. And ever since, I've been grateful I bought that lens. That lens has served me well. And the whole of 2020, I'll say I've used that lens for at least 90% of the pictures I've taken at the wedding. Because those of you know me, I shoot Nikon Z6 and I'm always shooting using the back screen. So holding a simple lens like a short lens that is lightweight is very important to me. And the 85 does that very perfect. So my favorite lens is the 85 mm and I love it. So if you haven't gotten one yet, try and get one if you can. And trust me, you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. Ankasa, ankasa, ankasa. Okay, so let's move on. So the lenses I have for my photography business, number one, my favorite is the 85 mm 1.8. I have the 70 to 200 G2. I don't know if I can be googling it to show you guys, or let me just continue and mention it or something like that. Oh, Theo, stop that, stop that, stop that. Stop that, stop that. Okay, who's this big boss? Hello. That's my sister. She's enjoying it. Okay, so the lenses I have, the 85 mm 1.8. I have 70 to 200 G2, which is one of the least lenses I use actually, because ever since I've started shooting the Z6, the image stabilization in that camera is very good, and the lens is too heavy. The 70 to 200 is too heavy, and I like simple stuff. So I decided to forgo it because I bought the 70 to 200 mainly because of, excuse me, mainly because of the image stabilization in it. But now I have it in the camera as well. So any length I place on my this is automatically stabilized. So I don't use it that often. I only use it when it is absolutely necessary. And then I have 24 to 120 f4, which I always keep in my camera bag. Sometimes you use for video if you're shooting pictures and video. And then I have the 24 to 70 from Nikon, seems one of the old versions, f2.8, and that lens has helped me, even though I haven't got, it has some small problems, but so far so good. It has done its jobs. I have a 50 mm. That lens is also very powerful. So if let me put this across, if you are a photographer and you are starting maybe an event, especially where you are going to be shooting low light, in low light conditions, I'll advise that even if you can acquire the 85 mm at this point in time, the 50 mm is a must have. So if you're an event photographer, after your kit lens, the next lens you should be buying is a 50 mm. And I've explained that in a video and on my channel. So maybe I'll link that after this live broadcast so that you can go there and look at it. Please ask your question again. You said I skipped your question. Okay. Please let me look for a question and then let's see. Oh, your question has gone up. How do you deal with extreme delays in events with regard to your working hours? Okay, so since 2017 or so 2018, I always charge based on hours. So the reason being that there are sometimes you go for an event, the client will tell you that the program is starting at 8 o'clock. It has happened before. You get there and the family members, some have not even woken up Some are just walking around. They don't even they're not even showing any sign that there's something going to happen within the next minute or the next hour or something like that. That means they are just telling you to come and sit down there, and then because they think maybe if they give you the actual time, you may be late or something, or maybe they feel like they have hired you for the entire day, so they can just make you sit there. I don't know how they think, but the program is 11 o'clock. They'll tell you it's 8 o'clock. You come and waste all your time. And that is when I said, no, I'm not going to charge just based on maybe the number of days I'm working or something like that. I'm going to charge based on the number of hours you are booking me for. So if you are booking me for 6 hours and you tell me that the program is 8 o'clock and the program is scheduled for 11 o'clock, that means you have already wasted 11 hours, which I will charge you for because I will be there. You give me 8 o'clock, I will be there, but you'll be paying for the extra 3 hours that you haven't even used. So that's how come I started inculcating hours into my packages. And I think everyone should do that because it is very, very helpful. I don't think the normal way of how do you call it, charging for photography without hours is helpful. So when I go to your event and you are delaying in your package, you know that you have 10 hours to spend. So the more you spend, the more you pay. So since I changed to this, most of my clients are not, they don't give me that fake time anymore. And so most of the time, we don't even have to deal with delays and all this stuff. But then again, there are some delays that can happen that you as a photographer or you as the client can't, how do you call it, can't manipulate or something. You don't have any control over it. Let's say maybe the pastor who is coming to officiate the ceremony is late. Something like that. You can't blame the couple for it. You get it. Maybe he was stuck in the traffic, or maybe he had a flat tire or something like that. You can't blame the couple. As for that one, we all understand as a human, so we would overlook it. But if you give me a time and I come there and then you are wasting the time, you are just going to pay me extra for the hours I spent. Because as photographers, every hour counts. You get it? Because somebody is sitting there waiting to receive their pictures. And so if you make me waste 3 hours just sitting there, which I could have edited maybe 200 to 300 pictures already. So you see, that's the reason why I charge based on hours. I believe I've answered your question. How do I deal with it? The simplest way I deal with it is to make sure that it doesn't happen at the first place. I charge you based on hours. So you don't have the luxury to delay me that much unless it is out of your control. You get it? All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I've answered that question, right? Now let's move to the next. How do you get that one look for all your pictures? Okay. How do I get that one look for all your pictures? Okay, so when it comes to my way of shooting, let me show some of my pictures here. Let me see if I can. My style of shooting, as you can see, I'm just trying to maintain the natural colors in the environment. So, for instance, what is happening to my network? Please, guys, let me know if you are getting breakages in your videos as well, because it seems my network is becoming slow. I don't understand why. You can go through my pictures yourself. I'm just trying to maintain the natural colors in the environment, so I don't do much of a color grading or change a color grade, like the color scheme of the environment or something. So I don't do much per se when I go to Lightroom. I just my my network is slowing down. Please let me know if it is affecting the broadcast. Let me go down and see. Okay. All right. So it's just I can't say there is a way that it just comes to me naturally. it all boils down to consistency and then continuous practice. So the more you practice, the more you get to know what you want. So if I open the software right now, I know that these are the things I want to change. I know my camera, I know what I have to change. And so once I change those stuffs and then adjust some few parameters, I get what I want. And um, most of you know that I shoot raw in JPEG. So I'm trying to compare my raw to the JPEG and making sure that I'm getting something closer to the JPEG, because when I'm shooting, I'm trying to get what I want straight from the camera, unless the conditions available, maybe like there's a blue light cast or something like that that I have to change. I'm trying to get everything from the camera correct. So when I come to the raw, I just edit and then get something close to the JPEG that I'm shooting. I don't know if I've answered your question. If I have, please let me know. If I haven't, please comment and let me see how best I can help. Okay. Why do you shoot from the live view? Okay, so the main reason why I got the Nikon Z6 is just because I can have the ability to shoot from the back. Um, I'm talking I'm live streaming on a Canon M50, and which is a mirrorless camera, and I tried taking pictures with it before using the LCD screen at the back, and I love the experience. The fact that I don't have to hold the camera close to my eye before taking a picture is something that uh, I've always dreamed about. And when I see people like maybe Manny Ortiz or all those Nikon, Sony people shooting without putting the camera to their eye before taking pictures, I feel like I wanted to have that experience. And that's how I got the Nikon Z6. And ever since I got it from day one, the number of I've taken more than let's say 50,000 will be underrated or something. But I've taken more than 50,000 pictures with that camera, close to 100,000 or even more. And out of that, I may say the only time I took uh, pictures using the viewfinder maybe 100 or something like that. I don't use the viewfinder. I just like the live view. I want to see the image before I capture it. And that's one good thing about the mirrorless cameras. You are able to see what you want to capture. So if it is dark, it is dark in the final image. If it is bright in the final image. Basically, that's why I like the live view better than the viewfinder, even though it drains battery a lot, but I have spare batteries to use anytime. So thank you, Queen Shatter, for joining us, and thank you for bringing in your question. I really appreciate your presence here. You taking your time out to join us is very, very important to me. Okay, so let's continue. Loganani, the Godfather, thank you too for joining us. He said I should go and gym. The 70 to 200 is too heavy for me, so I don't think I'll be using it in quite a while. But in some circumstances, I use it, especially when uh, I'm shooting in maybe a Catholic church, and then the distance between the couple and the priest is far. Then that one I may use it to capture the priest or something like that. And one thing most of you don't know is I shoot pictures and video at the same time. So if the client books us for pictures and video, as much as I'm taking pictures, I'm taking videos as if there's no videographer, because anything can happen. And if maybe one camera fails or the memory card fails or something, I don't trust this SanDisk memory cards like that. So, and anything can happen. So I just take the shot as if there's no other videographer around. And sometimes, even before we back up, we could even use the footage from my camera to do a trailer for the couple. And trust me, if I tell you that all this was shot whilst we were taking pictures, you not even know. And sometimes I use my phone to take some few shots and insert it into wedding trailers. But shh, don't tell anybody. Okay, so Ganani, I can't use the 70 to 200 to be taking live photos or something like that. That's why I don't use it. How do you deal with irritating clients? Okay, how do you deal with irritating clients? It depends. It depends how. Sometimes the client is not actually irritating, but it's just that they are under pressure, so they don't actually know that they are irritating you or something like that. Even though I know some of some wedding photographers experience very irritating clients. I've experienced one before, and that was a very long time at the beginning of my career, and I've learned to um, take care of that situation earlier before it happens. So I don't have irritating clients since then, but if there should be any, I make sure that my agreement document is there to help them, help me stop them from behaving that way towards me. So um, thank God I don't have irritating clients, so I can't answer that question that well, but you should always back up yourself with agreement documents, so that the client know what exactly they are getting and what they should and should not be doing. So just get that done, and then I don't think there will be irritating clients like that. Okay. So how do you get? Okay, I've answered that. Please kindly answer Theo question concerning the drone. Please, Theo, which question is that? I can't see the question. Hold on, please. Goka, I see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you are here. One of the very amazing people that supported me through the beginning of my career. So at that time, he wasn't a photographer, but he was always there to support me and then help me out. So the best part of my journey as a wedding photographer is the friends that I made. So friends like Colorful, who is the CEO of Colorful Moments. You can go and check him out on Instagram. Um, Frankie's photography is one of the very people that have been loyal to the brand of BDY, and Yonkopa and all those stuff. Those um, James Star, if I don't mention your name, I know you come and slap me here. So let me just mention your name. Those people, Super 78, back then they were the backbone. They were supporting me. Sometimes you feel like uh, you have come to the end of your journey, but they'll tell you, PDY, you pa, this small thing that you want to cry, all they have been able to motivate and encourage me. And now we are here. We are here and we are discussing my journey. So hopefully very soon we'll be discussing your journey too. And I hope to hear very nice stories, very good moments from your story too. Okay. So said you're an inspiration. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And please pardon me. I'm not that conversant with the platform, so finding your comment is a bit difficult for me. How many years in business? I think I've answered that. 4 years and counting. Are you using? I've answered that. Which one are we talking about? Oh, Richie Blenzy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. How do you deal with stress at a wedding? Yes, that's a very big question. How do I deal with stress at the wedding? So, as much as weddings are fun to cover, excuse me, they can be very, very, very stressful. They can, because on a typical wedding day, you are standing on your feet for at least 6 hours, and that's not a small thing. And the part that is very, very challenging is that they will serve everybody food, especially, and you, the photographer, will be left out. They will tell you that, oh, we have packaged it down, you have packaged it down. So when you are going, we give it to you. But my sister, photographers, if you are not a photographer, or if you are a vendor or any kind of vendor that serves food at a program, please let me use this opportunity to tell you this. Photographers, we are not there to eat the food. We are there to work. So if photographer is requesting for food, they need it to work. When I close from the program and I'm going home, I am thinking of going to eat maybe banquet and tilapia, or maybe some fufu and all those stuff. So you giving me rice to take home I don't think it's the right thing to be done. But I need the rice to eat at that point in time so that I can continue to work for another extra hour or something like that. You get it? So the stress at the wedding mostly happens to me. I get stressed when I'm hungry. So if I'm hungry, you can see it on me. That is why people who know me knows that I post a lot about food, wedding photography and food, wedding photography and food. It is important. At that point in time, I'm yet to find a way that I can take my own food to a program and then not have to maybe ask anybody else to provide food or something like that. But as of now, there's no feasible way of me carrying food to a wedding program. The fast food that is possible, I don't eat those food. I like the bankus, the kenkes, and all those stuff. So it's difficult for me to take food along to a program. So when I'm hungry, I'm under stress. But once I'm satisfied, I don't see stress at all because no matter how stressful the day is, I'm not the only one experiencing it. The couples are experiencing it. I am there to make sure that their day is very comfortable for them. So if they are stressing, I am supposed to motivate them. But when I'm hungry, that one day, we will all stress together. So please, if you are a future client and you are watching this live stream now, um, make sure that you feed your photographers properly because the job is not easy. We are standing on our feet for 8 hours straight. So please, planners and all this stuff, please do something about it. All right. What's your best go-to lens? I've answered that. Because I've been to about 8 now and it's not easy shooting and it's not easy shooting the whole day. Yes, it's difficult, but you see, you have to first love the job. If you love what you are doing, you are going to enjoy it. But if you don't like it, that is where the problems happen. So Theo, I believe uh, if you start to love what you are doing, you wouldn't see wedding photography as stressful because no matter how stressed I am, I'm always looking on to shooting the next wedding. I'm always looking on to shooting the next wedding. All right, so let's continue. Great job, Paul. Thank you, boss. Um, then, would you advise a beginner to go for a loan to establish a photography business after trying all the means to get and all being failed? So if I understand you right, you are trying to say, would I advise somebody to go for a loan to buy photography equipment? Um, hmm, the question is a bit difficult to answer straightly because one, I believe that if you can get your basic camera, maybe a Canon 60D or a 600D, you don't need to buy all those big equipment now. Even when you buy them, the thing that happens is you don't get to utilize the skills, your brains that much because you just start from the big point and everything is comfortable for you. So when you happen to find yourself in a tight situation, maybe your gear broke down, you have to switch to a smaller gear or something like that. You'll be finding it difficult. And another thing is in wedding photography, the more you work to buy new equipment, the more you feel the joy in it. So if you would go and then borrow money to establish yourself, I think it should be just the basic stuff like maybe a normal camera and then maybe get 150 mm and then try and work hard and pay that money off. Then from there, you can start buying the other stuff. But I wouldn't advise that you go straight ahead and then you go and buy maybe a 5D Mark IV with a loan or something like that. It is different if you are already in the business and you want to upgrade, maybe your gears got stolen or something like that, and you are going for a loan or something. That one they understand. But if you are starting fresh, you should be looking at getting a gear that your money can afford, money that you can afford, not necessarily going to borrow money from somebody. So please try and then use all means possible to get the smaller gears first. Use them and then use them to generate other income. And then as you grow, you will see that you are moving, uh, you are climbing the ladder small. It's better than just being at the top. If not, when you fall, you just fall at once. All right. So I believe I've answered your question. Um, Let me answer his stress reliever. He only needs banku at a wedding. That's all. So if I'm stressed, I only need banku. If you give me banku and I'm satisfied, there's nothing like stress. I can shoot the whole 24 hours as long as I'm fed and my camera, my memory card is not full or my battery is not dead. I am happy to shoot as much as possible. So I don't see anything called stress, actually. It's just hunger that I see. Blaze, I've heard about you, pa. Yes, he's a senior man. Banku and tilapia here. The whole world. Don't mind them. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Thank you. Yo, Ganani, senior man. I salute you. Thanks for joining us again. Don't forget to drop a like. Yes, please. Don't forget to like this video if you are getting something out of it. I believe what I am sharing with you is helpful in some way. So if you are getting some knowledge out of it, please hit the like button. And then if you haven't subscribed yet, this is a good time for you to subscribe. I'll be doing search videos and I'll be bringing all the big guys like my big boss, Blaze, Art Focus, Yanani, all the big names out there. And then we'll be having everyone will be having the opportunity to share their thoughts on this channel. So please um, leave a like and then subscribe. All right. How do you deal with extreme delays in the okay, I've answered that. Money the money the the way I love shooting weddings, yes, Ganani. Okay, so I've gone up okay. So what is your go-to lens? I've answered that. Thanks so much for this live broadcast. Yeah, Steph, thank you too for joining us. And then I'm glad you are here. Do you sometimes shoot with your drone even without a paid request from your client? Yes. The thing about my style of photography is I don't charge clients for drone coverage. The reason being that I don't want to reach at a point in time where the client has paid for a drone service and I'm restricted from taking maybe drone coverage, or maybe the conditions are not good enough for me to take coverage. We all know once you take the money, you have to do it. And it is risky flying in some areas. It is risky flying in some weather conditions. So just to keep things short, I don't charge for drones. When I get there and conditions, we are always carrying a drone along. If we get there and then conditions are perfect, there is no like haste in getting things done. Everything is on point. Like there's no pressure on the couple or something like that, and we have the enough time to cover everything properly. You definitely fly a drone. And as you have seen in some of my videos, if you have been watching some of my trailers, there are a lot of drone shots. And there's nothing in my package showing that I'll be bringing drone to your wedding. But I will bring it when I bring it and the conditions are suitable, we will fly it. So thank you for asking that question. I don't charge extra for drones. As we are using, as we are using this 70 as me, he's using it as backup. Oh, chairman. It's not like that to watching you live. Keep doing the good works. Thanks, boss. I salute. So one of the big guys in the industry, Comfy Studios. You can check him out on Instagram. He's doing amazing jobs in Takwa. All right. So this 70, how do you get that one look? It seems I keep getting back to comments. Why do you shoot? Yes, the only go and gym. And tell them, myself, I know the complaints. The Queen Studios. The 70 to 200 there is too heavy for me. You skip my question. I believe I've answered now, right? Paul, how do you work on your whites, raw in JPEG, mostly weddings? Okay, so if I want to get my white correctly, what I do is I intentionally underexpose the image just a little. And one thing that this does well, it has something called active delighting also. Pardon me. It has something called active delighting, which when I lower the when I bring down the exposure, it tries to balance the exposure, like something like how do you call it, HDR or something like that. Like it tries to balance the whites and the darks, so it does that automatically by itself for the JPEG. So even if the raw becomes dark, the JPEG is some way somehow balanced. So I get to maintain some of the details. Then when I get to Lightroom, the dynamic range of the camera is very, 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 very good. So I could just adjust the highlights, bring them down, and then to bring out the details in the dress. So that's how I deal with the whites. And always I edit raw. I don't edit the JPEGs. So I did the raw, and the raw is holding a lot of information. That's why we say shoot raw as much as possible. Now, memory cards are less expensive, external drives are less expensive than they used to be before. So, as much as possible, try and shoot raw so that when you are editing, you have the leeway, you have the freedom to edit. So, I edit the raw, and when I just adjust the highlights and then maybe bring down the exposure and then increase the shadows, like open the shadows up so that there will be uh, details in the darker areas will show. That's how I deal with them. Queen left arm, slim macho. I love my 70 to 200. I'm very comfortable with that because it helps me boss up. Yes, I used to like the 70 to 200 too when I was shooting the Nikon D750 as my main camera. I used to like it, but still, it's too heavy for me. I like it now. I like it. I love that lens. That's why I'm not able to sell it. But uh, okay, so it seems my camera just went off. Please give me a second to change my battery, and then I'll be back soon to answer your questions. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Follow my page if you haven't followed yet, and then keep leaving your questions and I'll get back to them. I'll reply them as much as possible. So the 70 to 200 is too heavy for me. That's why I don't use it. Okay. So which question is next? If you have any question, please leave it in the comment section below. I'll be answering every question as much as possible. All right. So let me change the battery to my camera and then I'll be back online in just about 30 seconds. So please stick with me. Don't go yet. We are not done. We have a lot to discuss. All right. Okay. So I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Everything is back on track. Okay. So let's continue. All right. How do you get that one look? Please answer to your question. How do I keep going back? Already in the business going back. Okay. Can you talk about price in regards to wedding? What is your delivery time for clients? So in my agreement document, I have 2 to 3 months. So some cases I can deliver within 1 week. Some cases it may take a month. Some cases it may take 2 months. Some cases it may delay because the clients are not able to select their pictures for processing and all this stuff for the photo book to be made. So it makes the delivery of the final product delay. But on an average, it's 2 to 3 months. So you are doing good job. Kudos. Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. Can you talk about pricing with regards to wedding photography? Okay. So pricing, I think that should be another topic we should discuss because pricing is a very, very, very important topic, a very big one. Like I said, I hinted on it. I charge based on hours, so I charge maybe 6 hours and all this stuff. Let me just look at my packages and then brief you more on it. let me just brief you small on my prices. I don't charge that much, so please. Okay, so I have uh, photography only. Photography only. As of now, I charge the highest to be 4,600, and I know that is small, but it's okay. I'm able to live with that amount for now, and hopefully in the near future, we will increase it. And then the lowest I charge for photography is 2,800, and then videography, the lowest is 2,200, and then the highest is 4,200. By the combined package, my highest is 7,800, and then the minimum for pictures and video is 4,500. So that's my level now. I know a lot of people are charging far, far, far more than that, but I'm okay with what I'm charging, and I believe everybody should be charging based on their expenses and then how much they wish to make. Not because I am charging 2,000, you should be charging 2,000. If your expenses is more than 2,000 and you need to charge 4,000 cedis, you just need to make sure that uh, uh, you are delivering a job worth 4,000 to the clients. You get it. So that's it. I hope I've answered your question for now. In the near future, we'll be discussing pricing a lot, and I'll be inviting people to discuss this a lot more. So please join us, subscribe, and then in the future, you also be able to get all your questions answered. So Kay says he's already in business though, but thanks so much for the answer. God bless. Thank you too for the question. And um, I don't think borrowing money to start a photography business is bad. But then again, you should make sure that you're at a point that when you take the money, you can be able to, you are guaranteed that you can make that money and pay back. All right, excuse me. Okay, what is the feel of D750 against 5,500? And will you strongly recommend it for someone who wants to upgrade? Okay, so quite surprisingly, I came back. My next camera after the D3200 was 5,300, which that camera is still there now and very, very strong. I bought two Nikon D5500 and they all at a point in time broke down, but they're also very, very nice cameras. They have done a good job for me. I've been grateful to their cameras, but they are spoiled now. They have screen issues. Then from there, I moved to the Nikon D750. Trust me, the difference is like day and night. Eh? Day and night. One is dark, one is white. So you can see the difference. When you switch to a full frame camera, like the feeling is different. The feeling is different. So there's a huge difference. If you want to upgrade from your 5,500, the D750 is one of the best cameras out there. It has passed most of the cameras out there in the market, and so it's a good choice for usage. Okay, so it seems my camera is misbehaving right now, but let me see. Let me use a webcam for now, and then okay. So thank you for that question, Charlie. Even thanks for making a difference. I'm proud of you. So that's my boss that I've been talking about. He was the one that granted me the opportunity to learn from him, and thanks to him, I am up to this level now, and I am discussing photography with you guys. So that's Charlie Events. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. If you are new to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and then turn on the bell, the notification icon, so that you don't miss any video, any of my future videos. All right. So which question do you have next? Any freebie to share, preset package or contract? Okay, so with a freebie, the thing is I don't use presets. That is the sad thing. I don't use presets for my editing. It was only today that I created an import preset because that is something I always do. I always do when I launch Lightroom and I import pictures. I always go back to do that. That's the only reason why I created that preset. And it is only today that I created that. So I don't have preset pack, but hopefully in the near future, I'll be creating some and I'll be sharing with you guys, maybe for free, or maybe you pay some small something so it can help settle the bills or something like that. Or maybe it will be for free. After all, it's just preset, but you have to also enjoy small. I'm giving it to you to use to run a business. You get it. So if you are also helping me out with something small, it will help. So I'll create some presets for you guys. Thanks for asking. My contract, I'll find a way to share it. I don't know how to share it right now, but I'll find a way to share it. Maybe in the future, I'll leave it in a link, and then please remind me in my next broadcast so that I can share some of these things with you. But for now, I don't have preset pack or something like that. I don't have any of this. All right. So let's continue. All right. Henry Kumoji, thank you for joining us. One of my biggest brothers ever. We were in class, and he's also doing well. Um, he is a photographer at what's the name? Uh, New Heights Photography, and he's doing amazing jobs. So New Heights Photography. Let me just search them so that you can also have a look at their page. Um, so New Heights Photography. So you can check out their page. They have New Heights weddings and all the stuff. He's doing incredibly well. And so please follow them. The people have been mentioning, follow them, Blaze Weddings. If you haven't followed Blaze Weddings and you're a wedding videographer, then you are losing a lot because there are a lot of things you can learn from people like Blaze. Okay. Have you had a case where you have lost clients with work without backup? Have you had a case where you have lost clients work without backup? Okay. The thing is, I always make backups. But I'm shooting about 150 weddings. I've lost raw files before. But thankfully I had a backup online, so I just had to download it and then edit the JPEGs and then send to the client. But trust me, my JPEGs, I make sure that they are in a way that if I give it to you, you may not even identify the raw from the JPEG anymore. So that's it. The backup is very important. And today I plan on talking on the softwares I use. So let me just quickly go to the next topic, which is the softwares I use for my work. So please go and follow New Heights Photography. Go and follow Ghana New Photography. He's also a YouTuber, and he's doing very, very, very well in the YouTube industry. He's educating a lot of people, and so please go and follow his page. Let me search his page. Ghana New Photography. He's doing very, very, very great. Very good work. Please follow him. If you haven't followed him yet, try and follow him. See, such a beautiful portrait. Oh my. And he teaches all these stuff on his page. So try and follow him. Okay. So let's move on. This live streaming is taking longer than I thought. Okay, so I want to talk about the softwares I use as a wedding photographer. So number one, I use anytime I get back, I copy my files, and then the number one software I use to sort them out is Fast Raw Viewer. viewer. So you can search it. Maybe let me just search it for you guys to see. Screen sharing, let me see. Chrome. Okay, so fast raw viewer. This is the app I use to cull my photos, to remove the bad ones, separate the bad ones from the good ones. So if you haven't yet watched my video on how I cull photos, all my wedding photos, and remove the bad ones, it would be great if you go and watch it, or you can watch any other video tutorial on it. A fast raw viewer is very powerful, and it makes the culling process very fast. So unlike Lightroom, where you have to wait for images to load and all those stuff, the fast raw viewer is very, very, very fast. I don't know if I can demonstrate it to you. Let me see. Okay, so these are raw photos. I don't know. Okay, I think I will demonstrate all these softwares in a video for you guys. So please stay tuned, and then I'll demonstrate everything to you. So this is the software I use to sort out the images and delete the bad ones. So, all right, and then the next software I use is it's called JPEG Mini. JPEG Mini. So if you remember, I said I shoot raw in JPEG. Once I get home, I don't upload the higher resolution, just the high size files like that to Google Drive. I make sure that I pass it through a software called JPEG Mini. So you can check it out, JPEG Mini. I'll be doing a video specifically for the softwares I use. So please stay tuned, subscribe, and then I'll be sharing that video with you. The purpose they serve, I'll go into it deeper, and then maybe I'll show you how to use them as well. So I use the JPEG Mini to make sure that the file sizes are reduced without losing quality before I upload online as a backup. And then the next app I use is Lightroom. All photographers know Lightroom. Maybe you don't use Lightroom, but you know that Lightroom is one of the softwares that almost any photographer used to process their raw photos. So I use Lightroom. I'm not a fan of Capture One Pro. Ganani is a big fan of Capture One Pro. So if you want to learn more about Capture One, he's the best person to visit right now to learn from. Go to his page. He has a lot of He has a lot of Capture One Pro tutorials over there. I use Lightroom. I'll be making Lightroom tutorials too. I have some few ones on my channel, so you can check them out too. Okay, then the next software I use for image processing is Photoshop. So I use Photoshop to do my basic retouching and all those stuff before I finally save the image and then share on social media or something like that. All right. And then the last one is Google Drive. So Google Drive is also another powerful one. If you are here and you don't use any online backing up system, I would recommend the Google Drive to you, even though the features are a bit limited, but it's able to serve a lot of purpose for me since 2016. And thanks to it, I've not been able to lose anybody's pictures till date. So please use Google Drive or use any other cloud storage, some online storage platform or something like that. But it's very necessary to always back up your files. So those are the 5 softwares I use. I use Fast Raw Viewer to sort out the raw images, delete the bad ones. Then I use JPEG Mini to compress the JPEGs that I've shot. Then I upload them to Google Drive. So then after that, I go to Lightroom to edit my pictures. Then I export to Photoshop to remove blemishes and then do some basic retouching and all the stuff. So basically that's it. All right, thank you. Now let's move. So I get asked this question: how many weddings do I shoot a year? How many weddings do I shoot a year? Sure. I'll upload the files as to Google Drive and then share the link with you guys. I'll do that. Can you address why big accounts don't follow back? That one I can't actually say, but the issue is, I for one, I have an account that I used to follow fellow photographers or models or all this stuff. Then I have an account that I used to follow only people that motivates me, like works I want to replicate, people I want to learn their style of photography. Do you get it? So it's not that I don't like your work, but I don't want to replicate them. So that page is for people who I want to like learn from. So most of these photographers with a lot of followers, they mostly have other pages that they used to follow, their family, friends, and other photographers, but they maintain um, some kind of followership because they want to just, when they get there, everything they see, they want it to be like something they want to learn from. Do you get it? So if I have a page that I follow, maybe my favorite photographers and all those stuff, and then all of a sudden I start following friends that are posting maybe cat photos or maybe pictures at the nightclub and all those stuff. You see that the purpose of that page becomes a little uh, like it calms down. Let me put it that way. So most of these people that don't follow you back, they have other accounts that they used to follow you. And I don't know about following back. I think when your work is impressive enough or you are doing a great job, it doesn't matter the number of followers you have. If it is nice, I'll follow you. If I don't like it, but I know you and I need to keep updated with your content, I'll follow with you with my other pages and make sure that I am getting updated, interacting with you on social media platform. But the other pages, they are for just motivation. So if your work is motivating me, I'll follow that page. You get it? So that is what I have to say about that. I don't know the reason why other people don't follow, but to me, I think that's the reason why I don't follow most pages, especially with um, my PDY weddings account. All right. Um, so what next? Um, so I've answered most of the questions I've listed here, and then one big question I always ask myself is, do I intend to shoot weddings for the rest of my life? And the answer is a big yes. Maybe I will not be shooting weddings as continuously as I am shooting right now, but it is important for me to be shooting a wedding. So I'll be shooting weddings. Are you guys there? If you are there, please say hi and let me see. Let me know you are there because, uh, like I said, I'm new to this platform. I can't even tell if you guys are available or not. If you have any question, please leave it and I'll be glad to answer them. All right, so that is all I have to say for today. If you have any questions, this is the best time to ask so that I can answer them. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and then leave a like on this video. Nido, you are now joining us. Welcome, bro. All right, so any questions before we go? Okay, K says he's here. K, do you have any question before we go? I have basically explained my journey. And if I've missing something, like I haven't said something that you need to know about, please feel free to ask the question. This is the best time to ask now. And then I will explain as best as possible. And then, so if you have no questions, maybe we will end it here. Say hi, boss. I'm gonna chase you. I'm gonna chase you on WhatsApp. Please ask your question here so that a lot of people can get the answers as well. All right. So we have Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton, you are here. Thanks for the love and thanks for joining us. All right. So any question for me? If no question, then thank you guys again for joining in, for tuning in. Any training, please? I'm new to Imac and when I get the best out of it as F talk. Oh, okay. Yes, when I switched to, how do you call it? MacBook, like the Mac ecosystem. I watch a lot of videos from Snazzy Labs. Snazzy Labs. Maybe let me type it. Snazzy Labs on YouTube. He has a lot of tutorials on Mac. Has a lot tutorials on Mac OS. And I also recently switched to iMac, and I am loving it. I'm loving it. If you have the ability to work from home stationary, I would advise that you choose an iMac over a MacBook Pro or something like that, because the power this machine holds is far, far beyond the power my machine, my 2015, even though this is a 2019, but still, if we are comparing 2015 to 2015, the iMac will always be ahead of the laptop. So please, if you have the opportunity to choose between an iMac and a MacBook, and you know that you mostly work from home or something like that, please choose an iMac. Later, if you have money, you can buy another MacBook Pro for travels, but the iMac is very, very good. So you're new to iMac, follow Snazzy Labs, it will help you a lot. Okay. And then we have any training, please. Training like can you be specific? Training like, so I try as much as possible to share my knowledge. I've not been active on YouTube that much, but I am hoping to be a lot more active now. So if you have any questions, please, please, please ask. I'll answer as best as possible. We have Noel from Noel Weddings. Bro, thanks for tuning in. And you are doing a lot of good works out there. I'm loving your pictures. Bros, you are killing it. You are killing it. You guys should check out Noel's Weddings. Noel's Wedding. Yes, Noel's Weddings. And seems we have Noel Studios, right? Noel Studios. He's doing a lot of good jobs. And if you follow pages like that, you see that you get improvements upon improvements on your work. So the people I'm recommending, try and visit their pages if possible. Follow them. I recommend that you follow them and learn from them. Okay. So how do you grade your photos? How do you grade your videos from multiple cameras? When it comes to video, I am not the one that edits videos. I'm not a fan of editing videos at all. So I can edit pictures as much as possible, but videos, I am not that much into video. So Nido Official, he does my video editing most of the time. He's very, very good at the editing part. So I just leave that part to the experts, and he does amazing job. Maybe if I have something to add to it, I'll just add to it, then he will effect those changes. And he does all the video editing, almost all the video editing, and he does it perfectly well. So he will be able to answer the color grading question. I hope one day I'll bring him on board, and then we can talk about video as well. And you can ask him your questions, and he'll help you with that. All right. So what are the specs of your iMac? Okay, so I'm using the 2019 27 inches iMac, and then it is Core i9, 32 gig RAM, and then how do you call it? It seems 8-core processor or something like that, and then it has 32 gig DDR4 RAM and 2 TB Fusion drive. And so far, so good. It's fast enough for me. I'm hoping to upgrade the RAM to maybe 64 so that I can give it a lot of work to do. And then because of the Fusion drive, it's not that fast like it should be with an SSD, but trust me, it is much, much, much better than all the computers I've used so far. So that's the specs. All right. So Noel's Gallery, not Noel's Studio, Noel's Gallery. Check him out and then follow him. All right. So I think that is all for the night. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it, and then hopefully we will meet again and we'll talk more. So please write your questions down. The next time you meet, I'll be answering them as much as possible. And so then, peace and have a good night. Bye-bye.